y'all come up with this? Like, who, where? Because I'm always react like that. Because it never ceases to amaze me when y'all say some weird, wild shit on my IG. Every time. Why did you shade dark skin black? I don't even know if I understand that sentence. I don't even know what that means. When did I shade? What? Who? What? Oh, Lord. Have I seen Malcolm and Marie? I did see Malcolm and Marie. You know, I have my thoughts. Listen, ultimately, I'll say this. My biggest issue wasn't that it was because people are like, it's toxic, it's this, it's that. That's not really my biggest issue. My biggest issue is that when I watch two characters performing, I want to see two individual voices that are dealing with each other in a world. And it was explicitly clear in watching that we weren't watching two characters. We were watching Sam Levinson's voice be spoken by two actors. And so that's really like the gift of good writing. Because in it's good writing, you are able to get your vision through and your message through in a way that feels grounded in this world that you've created, that is connected in an authenticity that is brought about by the characters that we're watching on screen. And so when we are watching this movie, I felt like I was watching, it felt like, and this is no disrespect to the actors, but it felt like puppets. It felt like they were simply just echoing this they were like a mega horn for this like Oz in the back. That's what it felt like for me. And so that's where we lack the depth and the nuance. And then when you have like two characters that are also, you know, culturally and age-wise, it just felt like it was disconnected in that way for me. And, you know, it's listen, as someone who's in this business, it's basically very taboo for me to be able to like critique other peer work. Like that's not like a thing that's supposed to be allowed, but I'm doing it in this case because, well, one, I don't care. And two, because I think it's implicitly, I think implicit, is that the word I'm looking for? Well, whatever the case, I think it's just incredibly important that we acknowledge that like this was someone who was writing for two characters that, you know, they are Black characters. And some people will say like, yeah, but their role didn't require them to be Black. Fair. And they both apparently had input into it. But nonetheless, I just felt like it was more of a rant than a story. And that's what it's about. It's about story. You know, I really want to see story. So, nonetheless, someone said Zendaya can't act. That is, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I do not agree vehemently. I think everybody does better in other roles than some, but I will 1000% say that Zendaya more often than not is acting her ass off when I see her performing. Nonetheless, with this particular project, and again, people have been like, it's toxic, it's dysfunctional. It really is about, for me, just the writing didn't feel grounded in a truth of the world that it was made in. So when I see that, it makes me as a viewer disconnect. And it makes me no longer be able to actually like, you know, relate to the characters. So that's that. And yeah, that's that. he was doing something else. He had that, he had shit that he wanted. This is Malcolm and Marie. He had shit he wanted to get off his chest. And he was able to get people to say the words. And that's my thoughts. And, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, next question. Please spill your opinion on the Weeknd halftime show. My opinion is that Jesse Collins and Dion Harmon are two of my favorite people in the entire world, and they produced my special, I Be Knowing, and we are really, really good friends. And I am over the moon happy that they accomplished the halftime show under the duress of a pandemic, etc., the limitations and the ridiculousness of even having to work with the NFL. So what you're going to get from me is a huge vote of confidence and support that my two folks did this damn thing. Next question. Oh, that's how it works. Okay. What are your thoughts on One Night in Miami? Usually we can't do this because y'all going to get me blacklisted in Hollywood. What was the best part of 2020 for you, and what are you looking forward to in 2021? The best part of 2020 for me, two things. One, going to Belize for the first time. I mean, that was just like mind-blowing for me, and I had like the greatest time, and I really just saw like levels of beauty that I had never experienced before in my life. And so it really kind of like reinvigorated me and got me back to like where I needed to be to create. And, and then I've reconnected with my boo. So there's that. What am I looking forward to in 2021? In 2021, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is the fact that like for the past 2 years, I've really felt like I wasn't myself. And I really just didn't want to do this anymore. And I honestly had decided that like I wanted to leave this business and fuck everybody. And I like turned to my man one day and I was just like, I don't want to work no more. That's it. And because I had just gotten so fed up with the hate and the negativity and being so like vehemently misunderstood and the mediocrity of the work that I was seeing that was getting all this praise and the disingenuousness of the work I was seeing that was getting praised and the people. And it just like, I mean, he annoys the shit out of me, but when Kanye said, I'm like, are these niggas better than me? Like it starts to eat away at you. And I know a lot of y'all can relate to that because, it's, in your soul what you're about and what you do. And let me tell you, when you get a certain level of fame, it's like, I'm not even famous like that. Like I'm very mildly famous, but you get to a certain place where now enough people know about you that they feel like they can have opinion. And it can like overpower just like everything you're doing and it can feel like an insurmountable obstacle to you doing what is the most natural for you. And so I went through like a really traumatic experience in 2020. And when I came out the other side of it, I'm just like, oh, like I just feel like myself again. And that's why like, we haven't done a Smart Funny and Black in the Crib show since August because I was fucked up. I had surgery on my voice. I had some other shit go down and I just couldn't do it. And so we just didn't. And so this show that we're doing on Saturday, this is our first Smart Funny and Black show since August. Because I didn't have it. I didn't have it in me. And so it feels just super dope and it feels exciting to find out that it regenerated, like that it could still come back, and that I'm not like all the way just